As y'all know, tonight is Sunday night special guest. And we got a special one for y'all tonight, family. So before we go on, excuse me, I just finished eating. You know, I had to make some dinner. I had a class tonight, and, you know, we had a nice time in the little class. We did live streaming. Thank all the people who came in and joined the African Indigenous class. Then I had to get to the pot, you know, because Nikki don't like to eat out, so Nikki cooks. So I had to make some teriyaki chicken and broccoli tonight. I'm trying to eat that. Y'all should have seen me going crazy. But anyway, I get to relax a little because I get to sit back and enjoy the show. For those of you who are familiar with our brother, our elder, Steve Coakley, it's such a pleasure to be able to have him on the show this evening. And let me just share this with everybody. Last week I posted on Facebook a video that someone put up of our elder brother on life support. And y'all should have seen me. I'm writing, okay, everybody, you know, how, you know, the spiritualists, right, you know, put the libations out, you know, send speedy, you know, health, speedy health to him and all kind of stuff, y'all. So the brother hits me up. He said, Nikki, that's old. He said, our brother, Steve Coakley, I'm sorry. Wait, do I got like Steve Coakley? Yeah, Steve Coakley. They said, and let me make sure, hold on. They said he's fine. He's doing great. I said, what? You know, because I know last week someone called in and told me that he was sick and that he was on life support. But it's Coakley. I'm sorry. Thought that he was still sick, and when I seen the video, you know how I do, y'all. Y'all know my heart. You know, I love my elders, my brothers, my sisters. So, you know, I'm putting it out there. You know, let's see, you know, send love and light to the brother. Da 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 da. Not knowing that he just did a show. The Coakley report on the 12th, you know, I think it said the 12th according to the video that I'm looking at. So I said, wow. I said, that's amazing. Them prayers must have wept to their ancestors, huh? But anyway, family, it's definitely a pleasure to be able to have the elder and the brother on. Has shared so much information and so much wisdom and intelligence with, you know, the so-called, as I say, conscious community. And he's very well respected and very well loved because of the information and the wisdom and intelligence he has shared with us. So I'm going to go ahead and bring our special guest in. Are you there, Brother Steve?
Yes, ma'am.
Peace and blessings. How are you?
Good evening, sister, and greetings to the African community.
Thank you. Thank you. So, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing better. I'm not quite all the way, but I'm on the way.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know the ancestors is working on it, so you'll be all right. You're gonna be all the way again. Well, of course, you know this is a radio show, and you know we got our people in the community that was concerned about you. So, why don't you touch a little bit before you know you get into what you do best, on what was going on? I know they said you was on life support, and you know it was a whole big scare for us. So, what really went on?
Well, sister, I guess during Kwanzaa period, some way, somehow, I went unconscious at home, sitting on the bed, and from that moment of going unconscious, might have been around the 27th or 28th of December, I have no memory of the next 9-10 days. And had it not been for a brother who was there at the hospital, someone finally found me after persistence of coming to the house looking for me, that he put on his cell phone that footage that you can see on truthmovement.com. And I had to look at it myself because I did not feel anything. I did not know anything. I have no memory of going to the hospital. When I woke up in the second hospital, I noticed there was a gauze over my stomach, and I lifted up the gauze. I had 37 staples down my stomach from the bottom of my rib cage to below my navel, where I had been opened up. I have no memory of this. I was unconscious. I did not feel anything. Not until they took the staples out, and I couldn't tell you to this day how I went unconscious. As I became conscious, I was moved to a third hospital where I shortly began to regain some memory. I still can look at my phone and look at phone numbers and not quite know who all everybody is. But I got hit. I haven't yet to put it all together since I was in a unconscious state. I know that my son, thank God for my 29-year-old son who was responsible for making decisions in my behalf. In fact, I just a couple of days ago talked to him about what all was going on since I really didn't know. And he said I was on life support and the doctors had called him and asked the right to unplug me from life support. I had been operated on. I was unable to breathe on my own. You can see me laying to the side with the apparatus on my mouth. There was a tube in my neck, tube in my side, a tube in my stomach, and, of course, 37 staples up and down my stomach. And my son told them, no, do not unplug me. And he and my daughter wanted to come to California to be there. And, in fact, when I talked to my son, he was telling me that the doctor was saying, well, he's going to be brain dead, and he probably won't be able to speak, and he'll be useless to you, your family, to his community. So there's no need for him to be on life support because he will be a vegetable. And my son said, no, keep trying. We don't believe that that now is the time. And somehow, again, I could not tell you, it had to be the will of God that I came to around the 8th or 9th day of being unconscious, just right before they were about to pull the plug on me. Hey, I'll eventually get the hospital records. And going unconscious, I wasn't dizzy. I didn't have any pain. I had no warning that I was becoming ill. So it just happened. And it resembled some things that had happened to other key activists around the country of our community who have died at home quietly with around others who were not very assistful in attempting to facilitate their life. As we think about Brother Khalid Muhammad, Ishmael Bershango, Dell Jones, Amos Wilson. There's a brother here in Dallas who just went down, key brother. And as I say that and people hear that, they have informed me of other people in other cities who were very useful and valuable who somehow have at home fallen unconscious or had strokes and have not made it. So I couldn't tell you how I got up or woke up. I see when I look at the video, it's hard to imagine that I was unconscious because probably would have been even more difficult. And I'm not all there yet. I still got some ways to go. I went out to the community today, kind of let them know, here in Los Angeles, let them know I'm getting up. I'm using a wheelchair and a walker, and they have a little drum circle every Sunday. I went to the drum circle to kind of feel the vibrations of our people and shake hands and get hugs and kind of let them know that I'm trying to make it back. And I'm not all there yet, but I'm trying. and hopefully in time I'll be at full strength and can get up and get around. Though I still do what I do. Now we're trying to diminish the power of the oil companies who have gone unmolested as they have risen oil prices, and no real opposition has developed against the four speculator companies and the five major oil companies whose board of directors and four speculators have benefited immensely from the rise of oil prices.
Mhm. Interesting. You sound good, and with the help of the ancestors, you will become fully well again. And it's so sad, to hear, that you didn't even know it was no warning, no nothing,
No,
but
ma'am.
it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing by the ancestors to have you here, to even be able to speak the time that you're speaking now and to go out in the community. So we want to thank our ancestors for that, definitely. Now that we heard that part of it, the chat room is starting to fill up and people are coming in. For those of you who just joined us, we have our special guest, our elder, brilliant elder, with lots of wisdom and intelligence on the line, Steve Coakley. For those of you who are just coming in, a lot of people heard that you were in the hospital. Nobody knew what was really going on. But it's a blessing to be able to hear you speak now. And we want to thank you for joining us. So I do want to, you talked about the oil, what's going on with the oil. Let me ask you a question. I know that you were one of the first ones who actually broke down the Boul'e. Now, we got a lot of young brothers who have followed in your footsteps that are decoding, all doing movie decoding, and they're doing so much, and I know they had you was one of their teachers, We have a guy, brother in the chat room right now, Ish, that says, hello to my teacher, Steve Coakley. He said you were his teacher.
Well, I'm very fortunate that information is no mystery or no secret. If I was able to have the capability to translate critical information, as we say, into a digestible form, to get it to as many people as possible, to empower as many people as possible, so that they can help other people as we prepare ahead for major developments that I believe our community must be prepared to defend itself against. And knowledge and knowing whom it is. This is the added addition of identifying specifically who it is that is a potential threat to our viability and has suffocated the opportunity of the masses of our people, other people around the world, is no secret. I have no secret knowledge. Everything is publicly available. It's the translation of that knowledge that makes me dangerous. And we share that knowledge, empower as many people as possible as they carry the word forward in different angles and formats to empower even more people. And sometimes it would be frightening to know how many people adhere to how we all think. And at some point in time, we will all manifest, but now is not yet the time.
Okay. What do you think is going on? I mean, you, as you heard, one of our sisters, Whitney Houston, she passed. And, what opened my eyes is that I'm looking at all the great singers and celebrities that have passed. What do you think is going on in that world over there? Because I say something's not right. Too many of our great, we had Evangelist, Barry White, Etta James. I mean, many of them are passing. Does that have anything to do with the Boul'e?
I can't account for Etta James or Whitney Houston. I've never had a relationship with either of them, for example, in the program to impede world control. There is a centralization of power a few hundred people own and operate the world. In fact, as a sidebar, there is just released the current issue of the world's billionaires. I think they're usually about a little more than 1,000 and a little less than 1,500 billionaires from around the world. And that's not many people when you're talking about 7 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about less than 1,500 billionaires who own most of the power instruments in America and around the world, and who empowered operators, who deputize police and teachers and labor and insurance and corporate and finance, and we can walk around and name the industries that serve those under 1,500 people. But it's obvious, it's readily identified and bum rushed by the victims of white supremacy. We could conquer those who are dominating unfairly. But lack of knowledge and strategy has inhibited people, and they get conflicted. They're chasing Obama. They're chasing limited power dynamic people, and they never get to the bottom of the benefactor. And part of what we try to help the victims focus on are those benefactors of white supremacy, that secret society that was formed in the late 1800s, the circle within a circle. And just look at television or any form of media. Look how many times you see circles within circles, usually in the background or on the side, totally unrelated to what's being projected or shown as the logo of the secret society is identified to other members of the secret society. Like, we're on board, kind of what they show, and it's usually in the background, and it's pretty comprehensive. And this secret society has created, I say, well, you know what, the Federal Reserve. Well, who made the Federal Reserve? It's the United Nations. Well, who created the United Nations? It's the World Bank. Who created the World Bank? It's the Council on Foreign Relations. Who founded the Council on Foreign Relations? It's the Trilateral. It's the Boul'e. Who made these things? Because these instruments of suppression were created by a central force. Commonality is what all those things I just mentioned are identical to. That secret society, initially empowered by Cecil Rhodes and Rothschild, who set out to various countries to deputize people to own and control their country for a central strategy and a central group of people, no more than a couple of thousand. In fact.
That controls 7 billion. I said that controls 7 billion. Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And lack of knowledge protects them.
Now, I heard you say lack of knowledge. Do you think it also has something to do with the effect of brainwashing our people? Because it seems like to me, Steve, that in the black community, you know, we fear. You got the ones who don't, they want to be down, that'll turn on you in a minute. Then you have the ones who fear. They're scared to do anything about it.
And fear is very prevalent. Sometimes when, you know, people call me and say, man, I'm learning this knowledge and now I'm scared. They have to believe that their destiny is not tied to that adversity. You can't always believe that something wrong will happen to you for doing right. I know that I have no material wealth, a couple of shoes, a couple of pair of pants, a couple of shirts. I have no material goods. I have no bank account. I got no money. I'm staying in a hotel to be away from my family and not my family, excuse me, from where I reside to for my own safety at cost, and people contribute to keep me safe. We have nothing that many people aspire to have. But I've been attacked over the years by some of the most richest and powerful people who ever existed. I sometimes share with people some of the attacks that have stepped to my doorstep with seemingly nothing to work with, but some couple of boxes of information, plenty books, persistence, and that translation, and the impression that is made upon people who want to change their lives because they know we're being suppressed by a central force. And fear. People have died. Martin King, Malcolm X, a lot of people who people do not know. Our dear brother Khalid Abdul Muhammad right there in Atlanta. I mean, look at Atlanta. Let's go back. Brother Khalid was about to purchase some land right there outside of Atlanta. Brother Jabril, H. Rap Brown, was about to have a camp right there outside of Atlanta. Was it the Nubian Nation? Was building their fortress right there outside of Atlanta. Wesley Snipes was developing the Royal Guard of the Amin-Ra, a paramilitary force, protective force for our people and others right there outside of Atlanta. And even the little sheriff, the brother sheriff that was out that way, who went down. I believe he was shot. Wesley Snipes ended up in jail. The Nubians ended up in jail. H. Rap Brown ended up in jail. And Khalid Muhammad ended up dead. Right there outside of Atlanta. As somebody or some force did not want that area to become a mecca for change. Am I true or not true? True or not true?
It's very true.
True or not true? I'm asking you.
It's very true. It's true that somebody didn't want to change.
All right.
Very true.
So there was an attack on the development of change, and that's how fear develops. Because sometimes mysterious things happen to people who attempt to make this change. There will be many casualties in inhibiting the program for world control. There's no doubt. But we got to believe that might and right come together, because one thing we've learned about over time, those who have ruled unfairly from the beginning of time till now have eventually fallen. And if we're prepared, will it be in our lifetime? Are we prepared to pave the streets, feed the people, run the street lamps, educate the children, develop a workforce, do manufacturing? Are we prepared to do the things if those other interests are not there? Because I believe that when we're prepared, when we are able to be self-developed, then opportunity to self-develop will unfold.
Very true. But it seems like they have done such a job. And we're coming to the lines in a minute. I see people on the lines when it comes to the lines in a minute. When I have to say that the real power lies in fearlessness. And, I see that many of our great leaders, you mentioned Khalid Muhammad, all of them have mysteriously disappeared or died, But I'm going to have to say this, my brother Steve. At the end of the day, this is 2012. And what I do know, as a black woman, as an African in America, that the ancestors have risen. And I do know, as you said, some of them great leaders, not the black leaders, but these people that were in charge fell. Many more shall fall. But our people have to, like you said, be prepared to be able to pave the streets, to teach the children. And what I'm seeing from doing my show for 4 years of dedicating my time to the black community or Africans in America, some of us are getting it right, some of us haven't gotten it right. We're not walking, breathing, and living our culture as much as we say that we have self-knowledge and we're righteous. So, I mean, it's coming together slowly but surely. But hold on, Elder. We're going to take a caller. We have a 315. 315, you are on the air.
Peace, Hotep. How you doing this evening, Nikki?
Peace, Hotep-ish. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Peace, Brother Steve. It's Ishmael Allah from Syracuse, New York. How you doing, brother?
Greetings, brother. Doing the best I can.
Peace, family. Peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just wanted to give, of course, blessings and greetings, and just to let my teacher Steve know that we love you and we're here to support you. And Nikki, I've dealt with you for many years, and I've always given credit to who my teacher was that inspired me as far as the scholarship that the people know me for today. And I've always given credit to Steve Coakley. He's one of the most influential teachers of mine. And I'm sure you can bear witness to that.
Yes, I can. I do remember that, Ish. I always talk about Steve Coakley. Yes, I do.
Yes. And just to let you know, Brother Steve, that, the works that you do and the examples that you set, from me meeting you in 1991 at Syracuse University campus, it really had inspired me to dedicate my life to, scholarship and to help my community. So just to let you know that we are all here on the front line and that we're here to love you and support you, and to let you know that it's brothers like myself and Brother Marcus Klein and, my other contemporaries, we're here, we're here with you, and, just calling it for support. That's all.
I appreciate that, brother. And I'm humbled by the respect that I receive from people many times that I do not get to know personally, but I know they're there. And, we're not alone, though sometimes it's lonely. We're under attack, but sometimes you just don't feel it. And you cannot, it's kind of a metaphysical thing. You don't have the right to feel the pain, and you don't feel the glory. And when you become unpenetratable by either vibration, you get or can acquire the power to help another person. These are metaphysical opportunities. And I know I'm humbled by the respect that is given to me by people, many of whom I don't know and may never meet personally, but I know they're there. And I have a responsibility to translate as much as possible. I look at all of the subjects. I looked in the pile of tapes from lectures. I've been in almost every major city in this country lecturing, and I called no one to ask to be there. I've only gone where I've been asked to come to. And it's a privilege that people become aware of the need to share this critical information. When I get to the universities, the presidents of the school and sometimes the administrators don't like certain knowledge, but there's usually a few who want what can't be told on their campuses to have me share with them. Same in the community groups. The leadership is not excited to see Brother Steve because, unbeknownst to most of our people, they're all in on it. The privileges that they enjoy are because of their acquiescence with the enemy. They don't call their names. They don't effectively work against them. Oh, they sound tough. This looks like they're on it, but believe me, they're no threat whatsoever. And who's in on it? They're all in on it. And if you don't think they aren't, just walk out there and see who's with it. And the faceless, nameless people are the ones towing the line. The Nikki Loves, the brothers on the line, the people that most people do not know, who are in the neighborhoods and in the communities trying to share and vow their life's destiny to make the change that's necessary. That's destiny. It will happen. It has always happened. Evil has never succumbed over time. and it won't, hopefully, within our time. And I live for that moment in time, but it's a moment of responsibility, not excitement. We must be able to do the things. If we replace these things, we must be able to do things. And that's what I teach. We just broke the country up into 5 zones. We try to deputize people in each zone. At some point, we'll start to have overt coming together. I believe I'll be in Atlanta somewhere around May. There will be a mild tribute for the brother, amongst other things going on in May with some brothers of Atlanta who I hope assist these brothers in making it a very powerful moment in time. And I know that might be the first time I really get back out again. So if you're in that area, you will get to see me. Then we'll get up to New York and Washington, Philly, and get around the country. I've got friends in all the places, and they're doing the do in the meantime. And it's not overt. They won't be exalted in the public. They're not going to be on TV, and many times they get hands on the radio, and they don't get the best jobs. They don't have much money. But those faceless, nameless people are where the most powerful people are.
There you have it. Do you have another question, Ish?
No, absolutely not. No, it's all about the elder right now, so it's Steve.
Okay. 914, you're on the air. You have a question for our guest, Steve?
Yeah, but how you doing, Nikki?
I'm good. How are you, Elijah?
Yo, Nikki, he made my day. You know why? I was in Harlem yesterday, and I asked the brother about Steve Coakley. See what the ancestors did? Oh, I can't, man.
What did they do?
Because I just asked about him because I was, like, getting other DVDs. And then I come across, I was like, I don't know what's up with the brother Steve Coakley because I was watching the DVD when he talked about the Boul'e. And then I had people's members, like fraternity and sororities. And then when I look at when they do their Greek steps, and I was like saying that, oh, that go back to Africa and the different tribes. And they don't even know that. So I like, Steve, I'm glad you back on the scene, but you never went nowhere. And then I like your works, too.
I appreciate that, brother. There are many people up there that sell my stuff to no benefit to me whatsoever. And sometimes I always wish that those people who benefit from my work share some of those assets that they so greedily absorb. But I also know that information has a weight of its own. And while at some point they're hurting me, on the other hand, it helps me because more people learn of the knowledge, and eventually they get to my doorstep. You know, they get half a tape, or there's a phone number in there, and I'm going to mention my phone number. I do need some help. I want to stay independent. I'm staying away from home, and it's very costly, and I want people to help me stay independent. I'm going to ask for help. So everybody listen in, because I would be foolish to suggest that a person with nothing can stay safe and secure with nothing. Sometimes it takes a little finance, and I'm not ashamed to ask for help. It's a shame sometimes I have to beg for help because our people divert their interest and their money and all sorts of things. But when it comes to that which is in their interest, it's a lower priority. And I know that. I can tell you some horrible stories, but that's not my purpose. So I appreciate your appreciation, brother.
Let me say this. Elijah, you're on the line. I don't know who you bought the videos from. Are you there, Elijah?
Yeah.
Whoever you bought the videos from, you tell them Nikki Love said that they need to take a percentage of that. Give it to our elder and our brother who has given the information and put the information out there. Like he said, in one way it's good because it exposes him to more people. However, I understand everybody got to eat. And see, we make the mistake in the conscious community thinking that we can go around and, we're selling these DVDs and we're bootlegging this and bootlegging that. I mean, let me tell you something. I know you got families to feed, whoever's selling what, whoever's just doing what. But be mindful of the elders, such as our elder Steve Coakley right here, who just came out the hospital, who needs to be protected, who needs answers. So I would appreciate if they start taking at least a percentage. If you sell them man's DVDs for $10 a pop, give them at least $5 off of the or $2.50. When that adds up, it's only right, and we're in the goal of doing what is right to help our people and our elders. Just like I told you all when we talked about Dr. Ben, we cried out for donations and everything for Dr. Ben. A lot of people stepped up to the plate, but family, let me tell you something. We got to stop being selfish. We got to stop being selfish. We got to get it right. These elders take the time. As you heard him mention earlier, many of the elders that are not here, Khalid Muhammad, look at Dr. York, he's in jail. Look at Wesley Snipes, let me tell you something. We are truly, truly blessed, family, in the conscious community to be able to have this elder still standing and talking right now, because just a couple of weeks ago he was on life support. So let's consider this one of the biggest blessings we can have in our lives. Without him and without many of the greats that speak, we wouldn't have the information we have now.
That's right.
So we're going to put that information out after this, towards the end of the show. But I want to make sure that everybody, I don't care if you send $1, $2, $3, $5, $20, because you spend $20 on McDonald's or whatever you're doing out there, whatever you do. Offer to send at least something so we can make sure we sustain our elder. If you're talking about, and especially if you're talking about your African center, because where I come from, y'all know my mother's side is from Africa, and we're very, very big on elders and the babies. We take care of our elders and we take care of our babies. Don't tell me you're African centered if you ain't taking care of your elders. And I'm going to leave that message out there. We're going to go to 513-919. You're on the air. 513-919. You're on the air. Do you have a question? Okay, you press one on your keypad.
Sister, let me thank the last brother for the kind words. I don't want him to be left out there. I appreciate him and raising appreciation, and I thank him for sharing the information that he did with us.
All right, Elijah, you heard that?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay, make sure you pass that message on and let him know. And this is real talk, because, see, words vibrate. Especially the divine feminine energy force is rising. The words are vibrating.
But one thing I want to say, Nikki and Steve.
Hold on, Elijah. If out, then they shall and will not sell any more CDs. I promise you. You'll see. Go ahead, Elijah. And
I'm not sugarcoating nothing. There's a lot of capitalism Negroes out there now.
We know that.
For real, I'm not sugarcoating. I'm keeping it real.
We know that. But you know what? It's time for them to be shut down. I'm like Queen and Zinga, off with their goddamn heads. Excuse my language, Elder. Forgive me, but off with their heads, because enough is enough. That's what I'm going to say.
It's some down there in Atlanta, too, boy. Believe me.
What you say, Steve?
There's some down there in Atlanta, too.
Oh, I know. That's why Nikki Love don't get in the mix of the ones here in Atlanta. You don't ever see Nikki Love out. I don't get it. It's very rare. And when you come in May, I'll probably come see you. The last time I've been out was to see the brother Umar Johnson, but I don't get involved in none of the cliques down here. Because, see, I be done put all kind of curses on them all. You see what I'm saying? I can't literally cut their heads off, but I'll be done curse them for 5 generations if they keep playing. Because enough is enough. All right. Well, we do have a chat room full of people, so if anybody wants to call in with questions, the number is 347-215-8040. And you can call in and ask the elders any question that you would like. And in the chat room, you can put your questions in the chat as well. Okay?
I'm sorry, sis. Let me just put this number out there. I know this number is up on the Internet. Sometimes people are surprised when I answer my phone as if they think someone else, I got some secretary or something. But my phone number is area code 202-256-2097. That's area code 202-256-2097. Somebody want to help the brother? I appreciate help. I'm down right now, and I need help to stay safe and independent and away from the scene of the crime. So jot that number down. Give me a call at your opportunity. I use different methods of sharing finance. So give me a call and we'll talk and find the best way to facilitate things. But I do need help, and that's all I can ever say. That doesn't mean anybody ever helps. You know, it's just the fact that I open myself to needing help.
Well, it's only right. You have put information out there that has benefited many of us. If it wasn't for elders and many of the elders like yourself, we wouldn't have knowledge. So
and you know,
we must
I was
say it
going to
again.
say this. You know, it's kind of funny, but it's a lot of other things I end up doing. People, a husband and a wife are having a problem at the school with their child. Well, after they go to their local NAACP or Operation Push or the Urban League or the local community organization, and they don't get assistance, somehow whatever they see on that internet and in those tapes, I put nothing on there or everything up on that internet someone else put up there, they call me. And I do all sorts of things that have nothing to do with what people see in the public, because our people need all kind of help. They're looking for jobs. They're looking for housing. They're having trouble at this or that, or there's family difficulties, the children and the parents, and the information sometimes is the wedge in the middle. So I do a lot of things that a lot of people don't see that are about helping people, and I want to develop something called Maybe I Can Help You. We got a lot of people, college-educated and well-meaning people who are not organized, who could man the phones, answer the mail, run an office in various cities, and open themselves up to receiving people who need help, no matter what form or issue or moment. Because our people need help. But sometimes the help they need ain't always what we want to give. And though I do lecture and I do get to those cities, some of my most important work is the work that people don't see, and it's about helping people who need help in all forms. And if I can't help them, I try to find someone who can help them, because I know people that do a lot of things, and that's the way it is sometimes.
You know what, and that's so true. That's so true. I do know there's a few selective, our brothers and sisters out there that are doing exactly what you said, helping. But, I'm going to ask you a question about that in a little while, but I do have a question from the chat from our brother Kwame, who says, can you ask about the 100 special forces Obama sent to Central Africa?
Well, I believe that Obama is a captive instrument of the rich and the powerful, who would want to aspire to be a president, a person who then must take assistance from other people, some of which who are empowered with positions that are not ever in the interest of the person who is, quote, the president. And any president, Obama, the Bushes, the Carters, the Clintons, the Eisenhowers, Eisenhower spoke very clearly about warning about the people who own and operate the world, and Kennedy, who was shot, the killings of the 60s of the significant people. Obama is no more able to do what he's not being told than any other person who wants to be that person, who wants to be the president of the CIA and the DEA and the FBI and the NSA, etc. Who wants to be that? You have to be a different kind of person to even want to be that, because alone there's not much that you can do, and if you go to do that, they will kill you. And so if someone tells him to go to Africa to constrict something or to get something in their interest, or protect the raises of the oil prices, or not employ the masses, then he will do that. Used to be they had CETA programs and model cities and other things where little people could get little jobs just to kind of make. They don't even have those things anymore to share with the masses, to spread money. People are told not to empower little people, and Obama has been forced to do those things that the rich and the powerful compel them to do. Who would want to be that? Who would want to be in that position? Is it self-aggrandizement? What would make someone want to be a captive leader? To be told what to do things that are not in their interest or compete with the interests of their people, which is the question you just rose. Why would someone do something that conflicts with the interests of their people? Because they do what they're told, or they will kill them.
Interesting. Okay, Brother Kwame, I hope that answered your question. All right, we're going to go to a 774. 774, you're on the air. State your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, it's Brother Nate.
Brother Nate, peace and blessings. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I've been listening to the show and those wonderful thoughts and your brother shares out. So I'm in the back burner just listening, and I was late, but I'm listening, and I said hi to everybody.
Okay, hi, everybody. Brother Nate was a guest on the show last week, and he was actually talking about what was going on in Haiti with the president and the parliament. And we had a very good conversation. If you missed that show, it was on last Thursday. Be sure to go check it out. It's in the archives. Brother Cokley, this is Brother Nate. He's originally from Haiti, and there's a lot of political turmoil going on over in Haiti as well.
Yes, ma'am. Greetings, brother. I appreciate
Brother Nate, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, over the years, like even now, as much money has been donated to Haiti, the enemy is in control of the purse strings, and they're not adequately sharing that money with the victims of white supremacy and the bad weather. And many people are still living in mud houses and restricted food, and there's enough money sent to Haiti to have fed and reestablish housing for everyone. But the perpetrators of evil have disguised themselves as the helpers, and they're holding the money. Sometimes people don't even know how much money has come to Haiti and how it has been diverted as they pay each other to help, to appear to be helping the people while they make sure the masses are not helped. And there's enough money there to help the masses. The Rockefeller family, you find a book called Vodka Cola, I think by a man named Levinson. The book is called Vodka Cola, and it talks about the Papa Docs and the Rockefellers and how Rockefeller family took control of the Haiti and have controlled its leadership over the years so that it does not effectively assist the masses of people in Haiti. And this is a 100-year-old operation, even longer, that has inhibited the development of the masses.
And as you said, brother, and I'm from Haiti and grew up there, and now have been blessed to come here and get more education. And my concern is kind of when I see exactly what's going on down there, that's what I request all those people who see other human beings as human. And we need to come together to help, because what happened is kind of even us as Haitians, it seems like we've been raised not to understand other Haitian people as equally human beings. But I think in 2012, and we need to come in the cross to, we know each of us don't have the same opportunities to go to school, to learn, to do things. But now I think Haiti needs more help on forming technicians on different branches. That means we need help. And what I found out, it seemed like, and they've been using religion and to divide us. And I always ask my brothers and sisters, I don't care what kind of religion you believe in, remember, human being, we come on earth with nothing, we'll be living on earth with nothing, but we need to at least raise the standard of human being in Haiti. And I think if people can talk and come together, put aside our differences, and, I think it's a time now. We need to see human beings wherever you are as a human being and give that person opportunity to grow, to develop who that person is so we can benefit from each other. And that's what we lack now. And I always thank sister for let me speak my voice, because years ago when you said you are a voodoo priest, no one wants to hear from you. And I understand why, because they don't want us to pass down the great knowledge our ancestors leave for us. So I think now we don't have to learn the same source, but I think the basic needs for human beings, respect for each other, love, there is no language for that. It's a universal language. And to protect the environment. And I think that's what we need now. If we don't do it, if you go to Haiti right now, if you know anything about the social part of the great countries, you will see that we go backward, because we used to have people who care for each other, but now it seems everybody looking for money. When they cannot have it, it's kind of, they try to co-opt every single Haitian. And I think now a few hundred miles from the United States, the Canada, the great countries, it's really hard for us as the first country in the world who fight for human rights. I think now, and we need to stand up together and to kind of see human being, not black, not white, not any kind of person, but see human being, because the impact of each other will make the earth as a peaceful world, because now with the technology, we can communicate in seconds with people all over the world. That's when we need to educate person, because we know. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, so Steve, what do you feel about what he's saying in reference to us coming together?
That identifies the need to find commonality. What do the people have in common that can bring, quote, them together? It is inconceivable to believe that at any given time everybody is going to be together. It's an ideal goal, but not a real goal. You need certain people to do certain things to help as many people as possible. But if you spend your life's destiny trying to make them all the same, it will never happen. So you got a head, you got arms, you got legs, but you don't have 50 legs and no head and no arms. You got division of labor, and everybody is responsible for doing different things. So you have to learn to find a common thread, a unifying thought that will empower the people to do what they do. But they may all, unity is not a real goal. I don't ever believe that everybody will do everything all at the same time. Some will be paid to be against it. Some are ignorant and seek not to be in it. And some are well-meaning but can't help it. And then there are those who can help it, who can lead it, who can share it, who could be unified with those like that. So I'm for people having the power to exercise their will, and that comes in many forms. But I'm not in a goal of, quote, the goal is unity, because that in itself, without purpose, we must agree upon a purpose, and from that we do many things, and as many people as can agree to that purpose, hopefully can influence as many people as possible in the program to fight world control, some of our people will have to be neutralized, who work against us, who are allowed never to be with us, who have been paid and are bustressed, are held up to contradict what we do and what we stand for, and we can't spend forever trying to convince them because the enemy has more money and other ways to get these people to be against us. Our communities are infiltrated. Those people who look like us sometimes are the infiltrator, but they're not the dominator. They're just the inhibitor. And so we must break our thought down to how to get as many people as possible to do as much as necessary and hope that their goodwill overwhelms all that is against us.
Okay. All right. Another question, too. We have another question from the chat and two questions on the line. Brother Kwame says, why did Gaddafi, let me go back up. They're typing fast. Why was Libya attacked by NATO and Gaddafi murdered?
Oh, it's very clearly that his alliances with other people have identified him as an enemy to those same people. See, that's kind of like what we just talked about. Some of those people against Gaddafi were Libyans. They weren't all unified as Libyans because they were in the same country. They didn't all think alike, and they were influenced by other people. Gaddafi, as a leader, had some very powerful ideas in unifying our people through African Union and other things, and he could have done even better. I hold much of our well-meaning leadership responsible. Excellence is the goal. Good is okay. Indifferent is dangerous. So he was vulnerable. People around him and people who he was responsible for leading drop their guard and let other people, less powerful people, influenced by very powerful people, kill him and kill what Libya stands for. And the influence that Gaddafi had in various countries has not been met by any other leader who assumed those same responsibilities as Gaddafi had.
Okay, there you have it. All right, we have an 804. 804, state your name and where you're calling from.
Peace. My name is JoJo, calling from Richmond, Virginia.
Peace, JoJo. How are you?
I'm doing good. I have a question for the brother, Steve Coakley. Mr. Coakley, the night of the long knives, right? Do you see that threat here coming to this country?
Say that again, brother.
Do you see the threat of the night of the long knives?
Help me understand what that is.
That was that technique. Go back to Hitler when he took his opposition out in one night, the night of the long knives. Do you see a communist purging, a civil war in this country real soon?
I'm trying to find an avenue to respond to you. I'm unfamiliar with that term, and I think you're saying, if you help me now, that there's a possibility that something could come in the night to work against us in a severe and negative way.
Yeah, cause see here in Virginia, right? They just passed a law, right? See, they not where how could I say it? The legislators here in Virginia not going along with the globalist agenda with the one purchase, one purchase of a gun a month. They not abiding by that. And they just passed a law here where you can buy all the guns you want throughout the month. And see, like every 3 months we have a gun show here, and gun sales that's been going over the roof. And it seems like white people know something and they feel something getting ready to happen.
And usually they're poor white people. And they're being victimized. The Program for World Control will subjugate people of all races as they need to, and only a few, predominantly 99% white, Anglo-Saxon Zionists, as I describe them, those Anglo-Saxon Zionist benefactors of white supremacy and the Program for World Control have pissed off everybody. Subjugation is hitting to every doorstep. You see, it used to be that, they gang bang us, the poor whites would gang bang us, thinking they had a relationship with the rich whites. But as time has passed, they've come to learn that, they ain't nothing either. Right, they ain't nothing either. So they done resorted to the gun. But what will get them will not be the gun. They won't outshoot the enemy. It takes. I use 1979 and Ayatollah Khomeini and Iran as a symbol of change. What happened was that all of the people just dropped what they were doing. I mean, to really make this thing work and to stop the enemy, you have to drop what you're doing. Who has to do that? Everybody. They have to just drop. If they just drop what they're doing and stood still, this thing would shut down. Because the victims of white supremacy hold it up. They could swear they be against it, and then they go to work. Or they go to school. Or they go to some sensation stadium or concert or whatever, and they put to the side the thought that could be a part of suppression, diversion. And so
diversion.
We have to drop what we're doing. And I have suggested that we have to drop what we're doing for 90 days or more to work on an agreed-upon goal, and it take about 6 million of us, 1 million in each of the 5 zones, and an extra million to float out of 45 million of our people here in America to do something. And the context is self-defense, that they will approach us, and we must be able to defend ourselves against what you're feeling as oncoming penetration. And whites, I hear from many of these same poor whites who listen to these type of shows who call me and express their victimization, that they too are no better off and sometimes think like we think. But I'm Afrocentric. I have my priorities are with my people, and I don't get involved in helping others because there are others to help them. And if there's commonality, and if they just don't work against us, that could be enough for us to do what we must do. Some will want to be with us. And you mentioned in the middle of the night. That's I've always expressed to people that 3 a.m. may be the right time because of how society is situated over the night. And that's to put that in your pocket. Don't tell nobody I said that. But I understand what you're saying. And, yeah, whites are arming themselves, but they got to be careful not to inflict pain on the wrong people. They're against something. They better be against what's subjugating them and not us. We're not their subjugators. And sometimes they think we're getting something that they need to stop, but that's miseducation and diversion. And inhibits their own viability, because if they get in the way, they will be stopped, if necessary, if they misappropriate their aggression.
Because, see, Brother Stokely, I see the reason they put Obama in there is to bring about race tensions, because, see, they hate him, and they know we going to back him because we see him at the same complexion.
Yeah, I noticed how they were excited about Obama as a college student, having a brother head of the Harvard Law School teaching or giving a lecture outdoors. The Fox News Network, which is Murdoch, who is deeply a part of the Program for World Control, how they have demonized Derek Bell and tried to demonize Obama for introducing him at a lecture. But if you want to denote the trickery, see, this is the danger of miseducated whites. They don't attack Harvard, and the leadership of Harvard has always been some of the greatest sisters of white supremacy as an institution. Never once does the Fox News Network bring up Harvard, who employed Derek Bell, who hired him to be head of the Harvard Law School. They attack Obama for having him speak at an outdoor lecture. But never once do they bring up the whites who brought Derek Bell and paid him. And that's misappropriated aggression. That's the dangerous thing that the Anglo-Saxon Zionists can perpetrate when they try to undermine a victim of white supremacy and try to suggest that they're the oppressor.
Hold on, brother, because I got to go to the lines, okay?
I got one more question I want to ask you, brother.
Okay, wait, before you do that, I have about 6 questions in the chat and 1 on the line, and we want to respect the elders' time.
Okay.
Okay? If we got time, I'll let you come back and ask that last question. 301, you're on the air.
Yes, thank you, Sister Nikki, for having the elder, Mr. Coakley, on your show. And it's great to see that he has made a recovery. The thoughts of his demise, as they say, have been greatly exaggerated throughout the social networking. It's good to hear the brother speaking so well. Let us all know that there's still work to do and work to be done. I first met Mr. Coakley. Man, it seemed like I think it was 89, 90. You were on the campus of Howard University.
Yes, sir.
I think it was Malik Zulu Shabazz that brought you there. I'm not sure.
No, he was, in fact, at that time, Malik Zulu Shabazz operated under another name, and he was a Howard student and in a rap group called the Defiant Giants. And at a program of mine sponsored by other people, his little rap group performed on the stage at one of the programs for which I was the guest speaker. But at that time, he was under another name, and in fact, he has never brought me to any forum ever.
Oh, thank you for that, clearing that up, that correction, sir. I know you were I remember seeing you at the School of Business there, and I also saw you at the later on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign. A year or two after that. Yes, sir, I remember very well, and I've learned quite a bit from you, and I will be giving you a call to give you some assistance here, and I thank you for leaving that number. In those, I guess, 20-plus years, Mr. Coakley, a lot has transpired. We've lost a lot of giants in those 20-plus years. And to be quite frank with you, sir, a lot of people just changed up, I mean, it happens,
Right.
And let me just, I know people have got questions for you and everything, and I'm going to be very quick. Based on your exposing and naming the names, I read the newspaper, I look at events totally different based on what you taught us. It was recently announced that Magic Johnson and P. Diddy were going to set up some channels on Comcast. More, the fluff and the smut that we get already. And I just said, well, how did P. Diddy and Magic Johnson get this? And come to find out, when Comcast merged with NBC Universal to gobble up not only cable but also the programming, there was a stumbling block outside of the antitrust concerns dealing with limiting access to the media for African Americans. Who steps into the breach? Reverend Al, the Urban League, and NAACP, who at that time was saying they were out of the business of just representing black people. They go meet with Obama, told Obama they wanted in on the Comcast NBC Universal deal. They go meet with NBC Comcast and tell them they are the de facto African American organizations, and they're here to negotiate a deal to get access on Comcast cable. Now, nobody voted for this. Nobody knew anything about this. They signed a memorandum of understanding selling us out, meaning the African American community, where we could have serious media like the Nikki Love Show, Love Productions, on Comcast Cable. We can have Steve Coakley. We can get the word out. We can let the masses know that the brother needs assistance. We can do certain things. We can have things going on 24/7, all bankrolled by Comcast. But no, you got these guys coming out of nowhere saying that they represent black people. And this has been their MO throughout our history. They take things that we have all should benefit from, and they come in as individuals to get rich. If you read the memorandum of understanding they signed with Comcast, they pretty much told Comcast, we here to sell out. So give us a piece. Give us a little taste, and we'll keep everybody at bay. So my question now end here, what say you, Steve? Have we made progress, brother?
Those cabeceiers or collaborators have been in existence since slavery in this country. And in fact, it was the cabeceer who enticed people to get on the ship, saying it was a freedom train. So that position in life is a historic one. Let me go back and say that Malik Zulu Shabazz, in fact, his name was Paris, I forget his last name.
Lewis.
Paris Lewis, there you go. There's a brother out there trying to do good things. Over the course of time, we have had some differences, but I appreciate the brother. In fact, I was just looking at the final call, and I see him up there on the stage trying to do what it is that he can do, and he's doing the best he can. And I don't want any thought that he's ill or ill working. He's doing the best he can. Those people that you mentioned, the Sharptons and the Jacksons and the Urban Leagues and the others who constantly show up to mediate in self-aggrandizement, the unresponsibility of corporate interests has been going on for quite a while, and the only thing that will inhibit that is pain, because until the people or the victims stop them from showing up to do that cabecea or mediation on behalf of everybody, then they will continue to do it. They did it on the oil companies, Texaco, and I remember people being paid to hold everybody back. When there's conflict arise, they show up as the firemen and put water on opposition, and they're protected. Some of these same people probably look like they were being indicted, but they get more responsibility. They end up on TV and networks and radio and television. They are given things once they're thoroughly captive. And so they're showing up to be the negotiators is because the people have tolerated it. And until the people stop them, that's our responsibility. Until the people stop them, they will continue to show up and do that. And that's really where the responsibility lies. We must stop them. Comcast, as a corporate interest out of Philadelphia, is negative. They are not very responsible to our people and are unresponsible to the community of Philadelphia where their corporate headquarters are. NBC Universal has been a Rockefeller corporate interest and has never operated in our interest. There's not even let me use my language, there ain't even a black show on television. That's how easy suppression has been. You know, if you remember, there was a period when Fox would have Black Night, or there was the Cosby Show and the little college student show that came behind it on NBC. They don't even have to do that anymore. The people are so docile when it comes to resisting the impressions that are fed upon our people through media, as an example. And this media is a tool of white supremacy, and it's thoroughly white. They just had the L.A. Times did a big expose about the Academy Awards, and every portion of the industry is over 90 and 95% and 99% all white. And they're the picture painters of the society, and the media are the manipulators of the people, and they're a tool of white supremacy. And these people show up, the Cavalier shows up, and they will ride as long as they can until we stop them. I know many of those same people personally. Over the years, I have interacted with them and neutralized them for things that were in and around paths that we travel on. And sometimes secretly, they've even tried to help. No one would know that they would try this. They wouldn't dare be known in the public. In the scheme of power, you might have a person giving you 7% of help, and somebody else, like yourself, giving 100% of help. It all varies on the scheme of reality. And you got to figure out as the organizer how to inhibit the negative and empower the positive and replace those people who are led to speak for us. They all get money for doing this. They all get paid. Their own organizations set themselves up as the vessels to receive the payout. Mm-hmm. And you know that. That's how it was. So what you're expressing, that these people have showed up continuously and received the payout. But corporate interests for NBC and Comcast have not changed.
That's right. Well, there you have it. All right, family, I want everybody to know I'll be speaking now with Steve Coakley, and I'm letting everybody know we're going to put the number in the chat, and we're going to say it on the lines again. Write this number down, and if you're in the chat, I actually just put it in the chat, and we're asking for our brothers and sisters to send donations. Our brother is in need of finances for protection and support. So the number is 202-256-2097. That number again is 202-256-2097. Call that number. He will give you further instructions. And I'm asking everybody, I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20, well, you know what, $20. And you could do that because the half of us spend $20 in the club and everything else we doing on fast food or whatever. Take $20 and $20 or more dollars if you can and send it over to the brother because he's in need of help financially. We all know he just came out the hospital, for one. For two, he is now staying in a hotel and being safeguarded by some brothers and sisters who are really looking out for him. Okay? So in the meantime, he has no access to funds and no access to clothes, nothing, like he said. So let's make sure, family, get this number, take it down, make sure tomorrow everybody's calling, donate some money to help out. That number again is 202-256-2097. Call for further instructions and be sure to make your donation. We must respect and be thankful of our elders like Steve Coakley that have done much work in the community, pound the pavement to get us the information that we're hearing right now, and much more. So let's be thankful and grateful of that and show our appreciation by making sure that we donate in a time of need that he is in right now. On that note, we're going to go to commercial. We're going to come back. I'm going to take the three questions from the chat, and then we're going to respect the elder's time because he still needs his rest. He hasn't fully recovered from being in a hospital, okay? So we want to make sure that we respect his time. So we'll be right back, family. Okay, we're back, and you're listening to the Nikki Love Show Sunday night, and our special guest is our elder with much wisdom and intelligence who has brought us so much information over the years, Elder Steve Coakley. And we're going to take 2 more questions from the chat because we want to respect our time. And we had one question from the chat. What are your thoughts on Occupy Wall Street?
On the what?
On the Occupy Wall Street movement.
Oh, okay, I got you on that. Who was that on the music that I just heard, sis?
You like that, right? That's a sister out of Nigeria. She's a young sister. Her name is Enika.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
okay.
She says, "Wake up, world, wake up, Africa." That's right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What do I think about the Occupy movement? Well, that's symbolically appropriate. That there are 1% of the people who are the primary benefactors, and 99% of the people are under subjugation. In format, that is correct. The people who run that movement are not our people. Symbolically, it is correct, but they've been penetrated and infiltrated and have stopped moving against, as they did effectively initially, sporadically on Chase Manhattan Bank and the Rockefeller residence and Wall Street, but they were penetrated, and now they must go to committee. They have to deliberate. Oakland has risen as one of the most effective of the organizations around the country in a no-holds-barred spirit. And they have resisted suppression, even some cases violently resisted suppression, and are above all of the 99 are and deserve the highest amount of respect and assistance. New York, which is one of the headquarters of white supremacy, has been penetrated. Wall Street or Washington has been penetrated. Chicago has been penetrated by people who have shown up and over time have been, quote, the coordinators or the leaders of their local entities. I hear up ahead they will have a coming together of all the various affiliations. And again, symbolically, the formation of 1 against 99 is correct. I'll let that intrusion pass. But those are not our people. But symbolically, the formation is correct.
Okay, there you have it. I hope to answer your question, Miss X in the chat room. That was one of our sisters. 513-346, my brother Black Lion, you're on the air.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How you doing, brother?
Very well. Hey, brother Steve Coakley, how you doing, brother? I was wondering what you was going
and assisting me being on this program.
Very well, brother. Very well. Yeah, I told you I was trying to get with you for the longest of time. Well, and when are you going to be back in Cincinnati?
I'm not up and around yet. I hope I will rehabilitate effectively. This is in Los Angeles. This is Motorcycle Sunday. And at certain communities, there's hundreds of cars that assemble on a certain street in Los Angeles, and hundreds of motorcycle people who parade around the community in their solidarity of their various interests. Hopefully, we will empower all of them to do what it is like we do when the right time comes. I'm sorry, brother. What was that question you just asked me? When was I coming? I'm not up and about yet. Kind of an interesting sidebar. Here they come again. I had all my teeth removed and was about to receive new teeth, and they canceled the free teeth program due to the Governor Democrat Jerry Brown canceled the free dental program for those people who receive assistance, and I am toothless. But even though I don't look as well as one would want to look, it does not inhibiting me from doing what it is I do. And I just went and got a facility to have a program here in California, for which I will share the residual or the tape of that program with all of our people around the country. It'll be the first time I come in the public. I apologize to the people for how I look, but they know it's what I do as to why they come and see me. So I have to suffer through those impressions, and in time we'll all be constructed appropriately.
Well, Amanda,
Elder, you don't have to the way you look. You ain't got to apologize for the way you look, because they shouldn't be looking at you for what you look like. They should be looking at you for what information you can share and give us.
No question.
So you ain't got to apologize for nothing. No, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, Amanda's been through what you've been through in the last few weeks. You sound great. You sound really great. One wouldn't know it unless you told of your position. And but I'll speak to you offline about the other information, but I would like to hear you expound on the idea of having unity with some of these people who can never be unified with, and it would be against our best interests trying to ascertain unity with certain sectors of people, whether they look like us or not.
If I understand you correctly, help me understand what you want, what it is you're trying to expose. Help me clarify that for me just a little bit.
Well, I'm saying in what we call the conscious black community, we are trying to have a unification or build some type of unity amongst us. Many people wish to go outside of that and try to unify with white people or any other group, gays or Republicans, Democrats, any other group, and think it's in our best interest. But I think it's not in our best interest when we need to have a unification with ourselves before we can have a unification with any other groups.
Well, as I suggested earlier, unification is not an end-all goal. For, again, we will never all be unified. I suggested earlier that some of us will have to be neutralized. Some of us will have to be exterminated.
Real time.
And some will assist, and some will be nonpartisan or indifferent, and some will be all the way. We must account for the variances. Again, if we suggest to our people that unity is a goal, then you will be pissing in the wind. It will never all happen. We don't all look alike. We're not all the same size. We're not all of the same interest. So to suggest that all these variances will make commonality is impossible. Some people play baseball, some people play football. But the people who play football very often don't play hockey. So there is division of suggestion that we will do different things. Hopefully, what we do will all lead towards a similar purpose. And I suggest sometimes it may take only 90 days or more. But unification is not a goal. We got to not suggest that, quote, we won't do it until we're all alike, because then we will never do it. And because unification is not a goal. It's an operational possibility, but it's not a goal. Unify to do what?
All
Unify
right.
to do what?
Thank you.
I'm not putting you down, but I'm just, I want our people to keep their focus on the neutralization and of the enemy of our people, as few as they are. And this is what I would want anybody to do wherever they are. If you're in New York, or you in Cincinnati, or you in Detroit, or you in Chicago, or you in Wichita, or you in Dallas, or San Antonio, or Tuvalu, Mississippi, or Birmingham, Alabama, or Talladega, Alabama, wherever you are, you must know who it is that are the dominators and the suppressors for where you stand. Many times people tell me, boy, we're going to go to Africa and do this, and don't even have a plane ticket. Be where you are. Do what it is that's within your reach. And if you can, find the top 10 power dominators in your area. Who are the top 5 banks and who's on their boards? Who are the top 5 corporations in your area and who is on their boards of directors? The police, the local political leadership, toe the line like the other entities like what I mentioned, the labor leaders and the educators. They don't teach liberation and education. They teach subjugation.
That's right.
They teach Columbus discovered America and all other kind of inhibiting mentalities. They don't teach liberation. So we need liberating schools. Why not go to the Coakley Institute of A New Day Coming and get out of Harvard and Yale? Because Harvard and Yale only serve the interests of Harvard and Yale. Or many of these other universities that I've gone to, when I share information for them, they got degrees and learn for the first time who dominates them. You can't have paid all that money and devoted all that time and not know who runs things. But the people who donate the money to those schools, who make those schools possible, don't allow liberation to be taught to the those who come to their feet and identify them as, oh boy, are they stupid. They're coming to learn from people who are not in their interest. Don't mean you shouldn't be diverse in knowing about how they operate and what they teach. I'm not suggesting you should not go to those places, but you should have a mentality that suggests that they're suppressors and not educators or liberators, and that you watch them while you write or read in their behalf. So unification is not a goal. Don't suggest to our people that we will unify, because it will never all happen. We all won't be the same. We're not made the same. We don't think the same. But we want as many as possible. And I say 6 million, a million in each of 5 zones, and another million to do other things. They must be able to feed the people. Here in California, there are miles and miles of land with no fences on it that grow fruits and vegetables. And I suggest to our people we will get that if we need it. There are no fences on vegetables, lettuce and apples and oranges and peaches and pears and broccoli. They grow many of the sometimes indigenous Mexican people who work those fields. They're not going to stop somebody from liberating those things if it became necessary. Some may even join. But they're just laying there. Where are those places that need to be resuscitated when the doo-doo come down? It might be the Walmart or the what them other Sam's or whatever, or the local grocery store. Some things that would have to be liberated to feed the people. We need greenhouses, sometimes underground. I met with some brothers earlier. We were talking about the science of greenhouses and growing things. We need fish farms. We need to be able to produce fish. Maybe in the basement of a house. Some, like LA, don't have basements because of the way the disruption of the land is. But many of our cities have basements where you could put a fish pond and grow food and feed the neighborhood. What would the people think if you walked out one day and went in indigenous communities and brought fruits and vegetables and water? Would they grow up to hate you, or would they love you and protect you? Just a little thought about what might make people be on our side, because with that comes power and commonality, but not all together at the same place, same time. Impossible.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, and that's a great point in the idea of unifying. That's a great point, and I appreciate it.
Very true. All right, what we're going to do is I have a personal question. Now, one of the things I always talk about, Steve, is the importance of the black woman and the black man coming together. I say it starts in the household, then we take it out to the community, then we could build a nation, and then we can have a government. But for some reason or other, there's still a conquer and division mechanism put on the black relationship. And all that we see that goes on, besides what we talked about in the whole, there's a lot of issues going in the black community with the black man and the black woman, and we got to get it right in the household. So what do you say to that? And then we'll take the last question for the night, which is 716.
A family is the first institute of unification. Family is the first structure of organization. It all starts with family. That is the essence of our dynasty, family. And many times I get called into disputes between families. But family is the primary instrument of power. And family is the highest unit of power. And collaboration amongst families is even higher power. But family is the essence of empowerment. And if you can unify at home, within the family, and hopefully people come together sometimes for different reasons. Sometimes people need help and need somebody that can help them, and love is not the primary interest. Or there are other impediments that sometimes conflict with family unification. Sometimes symbolism. Somebody want to look like they with somebody, but don't really love the person they're with. But family is the first unit of organization. It's our primary institution. And deserves the highest amount of respect. And it's difficult to suggest to others when you can't do it at home. And we must put time in. It takes time, sometimes even assistance, to enhance the development and the unification of the family. And family is the essence of us, our families. And what did the enemy do? The first thing they did was separate the men and the women, because they understood that family had power. So they put the women someplace and they put the men someplace else under the institution of slavery. That was important, that they were not together. And then language was destroyed. But the family is the essence of power. And sometimes it's difficult. God knows.
Well, it's very difficult, but they're still trying to divide the black woman and the black man. Last year, CNN, the hugest sign I ever seen in my life, and I'm from New York, and I've seen plenty of billboards up on 42nd Street. But this sign was so huge I could see it from the highway. CNN said, blacks in America. It said, the black woman in the family, and the next day, the black man. So I looked at the sign, Steve, and I said, wait a minute, hold on. Are you all saying that my black man is not worthy of being part of my black family? You see what I'm saying? So they're still trying to divide the black woman and black woman. What I noticed in the community is we have lost total respect for each other. There's no respect for the black woman. The black woman don't have respect for the black man. The black man don't have respect for the black woman. It's a mess. And I tried to put it together last year. by having the sisters come on and the brothers come on, let's talk about this because it's important for us to get it together because they know that if the black woman and the black men together come together and do right by each other, we are a force that's not to be reckoned with. So it's still going on in 2011, 2012.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's the first unit of organization is the family. And, again, the scientists of white supremacy sought to destroy the family. That was one of their goals. When they gave even financial aid, they separated the family. Some people would have to leave the home to get financial assistance because if it was a family together, they would not provide assistance because destruction of the family was the goal of other people. And we have to, I'll tell you, let me tell you a little story. When I was unconscious, little did I know, and they had never talked, but the mother of my two oldest children, Stephen and Nakia, one in Chicago, one in Las Vegas, and the mother of my youngest daughter, my aunt, in North Carolina, and my children all unified on the telephone for my protection. They collaborated together. One of the sisters is a nurse. They collaborated together what was in my interest while I was unable to help myself. And for me, that was a profound development that they found unification in adversity.
That's right.
The fact that the family came to assist, that was my primary vessel of protection. When the enemy wanted to unplug me, it was the family that said no.
That's right.
No, and I'm so I cry when I think about what was necessary to protect me and how, and I gave honor and respect to all of them for having protected me when I couldn't protect myself. And they came together in spite of whatever to see that I was protected. They absorbed my destiny. And I'm very appreciative, and we all have together collaborated in my resurrection and protection. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed that values that we shared separately and together, that they found commonality in my protection and understood the value. I have, excuse me, 1 second. It breaks me a little.
I know. It's okay.
My family has been destroyed, some cases because of the oppression of the enemy. They have withheld money, destroyed opportunities, made conflict in my household, and sometimes they aren't built the way I am built to withstand the pressure. And sometimes it was in their interest to go, not for lack of how we felt about each other, but because the enemy was more powerful and impressionable than what I could do, because they could deny all things. My mothers are well educated. We stayed together for their independence. And when their independence was assured, it was time for them to be independent. And they have protected my children and, again, have unified in my adversity, irregardless of how they felt about anything. And that is impressive, for those are the values that we stood for, and those values were expressed in my behalf, and I am forever grateful.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And you know what? It just shows you that when we think, all is not correct, and I don't know how to put the words because you almost got me in tears over here. I'm sorry. I just love to hear that because it just shows you how and I'm going to say this, it shouldn't have to be just at that time. This is something that should be done all the time, but it's just a beautiful thing how they all came together. It was no, chaos in the middle of it, and they came together to protect you, and that just shows how much you're loved. Like you said, it doesn't matter what happened in the past or what went on, but, let me wipe the tears off my eyes because you had me, tearing up, but, I do want to thank you so much, and it's truly, truly a blessing, to have your family, to have the community. All of us loved you and do love you, and will continue to send you love and light. I want to let everybody else know that's on the line before we get off air. We have 2 minutes. I want you to call 202-256-2097. I want you to call 202-256-2097. And our elder needs help now. He's done so much in the community, family. I mean, giving us wisdom and intelligence, and it's only right that we do what's right, which is to support him financially, support him spiritually, and definitely I'm going to call my spiritual sisters and brothers to make sure that you're doubly protected and that you get double the finances. Trust me. I promise you that. Again, family, I want you to send your donations. Call the number tomorrow to get further information so you know where to send them. And the number is 202-256-2097. You're listening to our elder, which is truly a blessing from the ancestors, that his destiny here was to come and lighten and give us wisdom and intelligence, and we want to thank him so much. And most of all, we want to thank the ancestors for allowing him to come back from being just on life support a couple of weeks ago. Listen to him talk. He's still going strong. And, Steve, I know that you said you haven't recovered fully yet, but you couldn't even tell the difference. But you know what? It's a blessing. Again, I want to thank you for coming on, and I'm going to reach out to you tomorrow. So look forward to that, because I'm going to make sure my people in the chat room, my people that come in here regular, I want to see how many people call to do what they're doing to show that we are decent African people in America that know that we must take care of our elders. So I'm going to be checking tomorrow. So I'll be calling you sometime tomorrow afternoon, and I want you to know we love you. And get some rest, my elder, my brother, and we do love you dearly, okay?
Thank you, sister. I appreciate the opportunity. I am truly your servant, and if you call upon me again in the future, I will be of assistance in any form and in any way. That's my responsibility. And I thank the community for their kind words.